Margot, can I have a copy of Damien's coroner's report?
Oh, no, that's against regulations.
Well, I know it is, but don't you think you could make an exception? You know, I'm feeling like this isn't real. And I feel like if I had proof of Damien's body, it wouldn't feel like it did with Dad in Kentucky. I'll know that Damien's gone for good. Excuse me? I'm looking for Dr. Bob Hughes. Do you know where I can find him?
Room 345, I think.
Hey, watch where you go. Oh, Mr. Snyder. Funny, I thought your boyfriend would be the one who'd have trouble seeing people in his way.
Well, if you're as good as you say you are, you won't have that problem for much longer.
What was that?
Nothing. Now, if you'll excuse me, you're standing on some of my papers.
Am I?
Yes. If you could just move your feet maybe 2 inches to the left, I can get them.
Oh.
Get out of here and get out of your way.
If it helps get rid of you, I'll even pick it up myself. Interesting hobby.
What?
Looking at photos of dead people. You know, I prefer chess myself, but to each his own.
For your information, that's a photo of my father, Damien Grimaldi.
Ouch. How'd this happen?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking for Dr. Hughes.
What good's he gonna do?
Well, I was hoping that he could take a look at these photos and tell me exactly how Damien died.
Looks like he suffered a blow to the head. May I see the others?
Why?
Maybe I can solve this mystery myself.
No, thanks. I think I'll wait for Dr. Hughes.
Mr. Snyder, you're being offered the expertise of one of the top neurosurgeons in the world, and you're going to turn it down? Just how stupid are you? I don't envy you.
What are you talking about?
Well, it must have been pretty tough dealing with your father's condition, especially for somebody as impatient as you are.
Wait a minute. Condition? What do you mean?
His disease, Huntington's, advanced stages of it, too, from what I can see here. He must not have been able to walk anymore, or talk.
Wait, I'm confused. What's Huntington's disease?
It's a neurodegenerative genetic disorder. It affects muscle coordination and some cognitive functions. At your father's stage, he would have pretty much been a vegetable.
But that's impossible. Damien was in perfect health when he died.
You sure?
Of course I am.
Then somebody's playing a trick on you.
What are you talking about?
If your father didn't have advanced Huntington's, then the poor bastard in these photos wasn't your father.
Ew.
Ew.
What do you think the AMA would say about a doctor eating like that?
Bon appetit.
No, I don't think so. That's disgusting and a heart attack waiting to happen.
Nah, that's all a myth.
Oh, really? You've never had your cholesterol checked, I assume?
I've been carving up the brains of health-conscious people for years. If a couple of them had stopped and smelled the salami and cheese, they'd have been much better off. My share of the rent, FYI.
This is for 2 months.
Yeah, I figured it was only fair since I'm not going to be staying here much longer.
I thought that Bob Hughes was in charge of you until your hearing.
Well, seeing as how I saved him and the missus at that sorry excuse for a wedding, I figure he can pass along a good word or two on my behalf to the judge.
You think Bob is going to ask the judge to let you go back to Dallas sooner?
All he has to do is call up his golfing buddy, tell him that I'm a lifesaver. I'm as good as gone. I'll have my life back. You'll have your spare bedroom. Win-win. Holy co-dependency. You don't want me to leave.
Well, I certainly won't miss cleaning up after you or your weird 3 a.m. yoga chanting in my living room, so get over yourself.
Well, I'm an expert diagnostician. That was real sadness there.
You're an expert narcissist. Whatever.
And that's called defection.
You living here with me and Jacob was supposed to be temporary, and so it is.
This is just so weird.
What?
Most people can't wait to get rid of me. You seem to want to keep me around.
Like I said, temporary.
Katie, you have got to hear this. Don't you ever go to work? Don't you ever have someplace else to be?
What is it?
The most insane thing has happened, okay? Paul invites me to lunch. Then he buys me this incredibly expensive bottle of champagne.
The reserve of that costs about $500 more.
He buys me the champagne, and then he announces that he is going to wire all of James Stenbeck's inheritance to my account, which means I can drink this stuff forever because the money is all mine.
The blood money, you mean?
Yeah, but listen to me. I'm not going to keep it.
Good.
Jacob is.
Jacob, my Jacob?
Yes, your Jacob. I'm going to put it into a fund. He'll be a trust fund baby.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Katie?
No, I mean it, Henry. I don't want it.
How much is it?
It's millions. It's many, many millions.
Hell, I'll take it.
No, you wouldn't. It's blood money. It's cursed. And I wouldn't have believed that about 6 months ago, but I also wouldn't have believed in ghosts, so no thanks.
Listen to me. I thought this through, okay? If we give the money to someone who deserves it, like your son, then the curse is reversed.
No!
Katie!
People are all nuts in this town. Katie, take the money. This curse nonsense is just that. It's nonsense.
Where are you going?
I'm late for my rounds.
I can't believe I'm going to say that, but for the very first time, I actually agree with that jerk.
Well, it may be the last time because he's leaving town.
He is?
That's what he said.
Well, this day just gets better and better. Think of all the great things we can do with Reid's room once he leaves. A playroom for Jacob?
Jacob has plenty of playroom.
Okay, then you can design and build a whole new house. How about that?
Oh, really?
Yes, really, with the inheritance that I want you and Jacob to keep.
I told you, I don't want it.
You need more time to think this through.
No, I don't. I like living here, painful memories and all. And with Reid around, I like it even better.
Oh, gosh, you just think that.
I like living with him.
He's a lout.
He makes Jacob smile.
So do I.
On purpose. He's good company. He doesn't get in the way. And with him around, my life feels less painful and less complicated.
You don't even really know him, Kate.
Exactly. We don't share history that reminds me of what I've lost.
Like I do.
Afternoon, Dr. Hughes. Everything okay?
Anomaly about this test results from a patient that has severe epilepsy, and I really don't know what to make of it. Take a look, Doctor. Dr. Oliver, have you been in the pharmacy? You look happy.
That's funny. So you have a hard time swallowing your pride. I get it. I mean, look at me.
I'm talking about this patient.
I know. To avoid what you know we should be discussing.
Which is?
You feel you owe me for coming to your rescue at that sham of a wedding. No big thank you required. Not even a mea culpa. Just, call up your golfing buddy, judge friend, and get him to drop the charges against me so I can go home. Deal?
We have a slight misunderstanding.
Now, I can wait a day, not two.
No, I really appreciated your help at the wedding, but your legal problems are not my concern, and I wouldn't dream of interfering.
You wouldn't dream of interfering. You are the reason that I'm still here.
I'm the reason that you're doing your penance here instead of in a jail cell.
This is just as bad.
Well, you haven't seen our jail.
You ungrateful old man.
Dr. Oliver, I think you would find this case very interesting.
You know what I find interesting? That chart shows so far.
Wait, all right, forget it. Forget it. I'll call Chanting in Chicago for a referral.
Chanting? That idiot? I can't believe that guy still has a license to practice medicine. Let me see that.
There would have been a time where the thought of me pouring you a glass of milk to go with your perfect crust-free peanut butter and jelly sandwich would have been an impossibility.
And yet here we are. Isn't this easier to watch than that meat-eating Neanderthal who just left here?
That Neanderthal doesn't remind me of Brad.
But I do.
You know you do.
Fascinating case, isn't it?
You cannot let Channing have this case file. Do you know what that meathead would do?
Tell me.
He will run her through every test known to man while she wastes away. And memory loss increases because of the bleed around the lesion. I mean, she might have seizure after seizure, but that won't stop him from waiting and waiting and waiting.
Well, that would be terrible.
Well, that's what he would do. He is not only conservative, he's a jerk. I'm the only one who's competent enough to perform the procedure that this patient needs before she forgets how to spell her last name.
Well, it's too bad you're not able to do it.
Why not?
Well, you want me to pull some strings with the judge so you can get back to Dallas in the next day or two.
Just get me the equipment and the right team. I'll get this lady back on course within a week.
I suppose that's possible, but you really want to do this?
I'll go download the surgical protocol from my laptop right now. I'll print it out for you. You know you didn't trick me, right? I saw through the whole song and dance.
Whatever you say, Doc.